this is Kaylee Armijo doing math video number 2. I do have it up here just so I can read off some word problems, but we'll get started. Number 1, we are to solve the system by graphing. So I used graph paper for this problem, although it didn't really help anyways, to kind of show my graph. So we have y is equal to x plus 3, and then y is equal to 2x minus 1. So I just put my y-intercept as 0, 3, and then my slope is 1 over 1. So I went ahead and graphed that here. And then I also get my y-intercept as rewrite it again and put 0, -1, and then my slope is 2 over 1. So then I graph that, and my 2 lines intercept here. On real graph paper, that was 4, 7, so that's my solution because the lines intercept there. I tried my best to kind of make a graph here. Yeah, I'm not too great at drawing graphs. Okay, so now we're doing number 2. And it says to solve by the elimination method. So basically I'm going to just solve these 2 problems separately. So my first problem, I do the 3x plus 8y equals 3. And I'm going to pull out the 2 from here and solve. So then once I distribute, I'll do 2 into the 3x, which gives me 6x, and then 2 into the 8y, it gives me 16y, and then 2 into the 3 gives me -6. So that's going to be my first one. Then I do the second one, and I'll do the pull out the -3, and then I distribute into the problem. So -3 times 2x would be -6. -3 times 5 is -15y, and then it's equal to -3 times 3 is 9. So now I'm going to solve this problem. My 6 x's will cancel out, giving me 16y and -15y, which gives me -3. Okay, and then we're going to solve for x. So we set it up by 2x plus 5y equals -3. We're going to go ahead and do 2x plus 5 times 3 equals -3 because we're plugging in the 3. So then we get 2x plus 15 because we times the 5 into the 3. And then we get -3 the same. And then we go ahead and do the -15, -15, and then we'll get 2x is equal to -18 because we do the -3 minus the -15. Then we're going to get rid of we want to get the x by itself. So we're going to do divide it all by 2, and then we'll get x is equal to -9 because -18 divided by 2 is 9. Then we're going to write our problem as -9, 3 because these are our 2 answers that we solve for. Okay, so number 4 is a word problem. I'll go ahead and read it so I can explain how I got my problem. It says, a passenger jet can fly 1,290 miles in 3 hours with a tailwind, but only 1,230 miles in 3 hours into a headwind. Find the speed of the jet in still air and the speed of the wind. Okay, so for this one, I'm making x my jet and y the wind. So first we're going to solve for x. This is the problem that I set up here. So we're going to do 3 and then x plus y, which is what we're trying to find, and then equals, we're going to do, plug this one into these are the miles, so 1,290, and then we're going to go ahead and divide all of that by 3. Then we'll get 3 parentheses x and y. Oh, okay, sorry, I was like, I wrote that twice. Okay, so then we're doing 3, and then we have x minus y is equal to, and then the 1290 divided by 3 gives us the 1230, and then we're going to divide it by 3 again, and we get this problem, which is x plus y equals 430. Then we're going to cancel out our y, and do x, now it's just x equals 410. We're going to solve, and it's going to be 2x is equal to 840. We're going to divide by 2 so we can get the x by itself. So then we get x is equal to 420. Okay, so now we're going to solve for y using our answer that we got for x. So the first problem is going to be x plus y equals 430. Then we're going to plug it in with our other answer, and we're going to get the 420 plus y equals 430. We're going to add 420 to both sides, negative 420, negative 420. That cancels out. Now we're going to just have y is equal to 10, because 430 minus 420 equals 10. So that's going to be 10 miles per hour. So now that we have both of our answers, we can say x is equal to 420. So 420 is going to be the speed of the jet in still air, and y is 10 miles per hour, so that's going to be the wind speed. Okay, so now we have number 4. Number 4 is also a word problem, and it says a scientist needs 150 ml of a 15% acid solution for an experiment. The lab has available a 10% solution and a 25% solution. How many milliliters of the 10% and how many liters of the 25% solution should the scientists mix to make the 15% solution? Okay, so first of all, I'm going to have my x as the 10% solution, and then the y as the 25% solution, because that's what we do know for our mixing. First thing I'm going to do is make this into a decimal. So this becomes 0.10 and 0.25. Then we're going to write out our problem. So we have 0.10 plus 0.25y equals 0.15, 150 ml. So then we're going to go ahead and write it in to plugging what we have. So we have 10x plus 25y equals 2,250, and I got the 2,250. I'm sorry, I just had a blank. Okay, so then we do x plus y equals to 150, and then we're going to go ahead and get it by itself. So we're going to do negative x. So then that's going to leave us with y is equal to negative x plus 50, so we can get that back on the other side. Then we're going to write it as 10x plus 25y is equal to 2,250, and then we're going to go ahead and solve for that. So we're going to do 10x plus 25. We're going to distribute the 25 into the negative x and the 150, which is going to give us 10x minus 25x plus, once you distribute that, you'll get 3750 is equal to 2250. Then we're gonna go ahead and cross that out. And 10x plus 25x is negative 15x. So we can put that down, and then it's gonna equal 2025 0. And then we can drop our 15x down, and then we get this, but for our 1500, then we go ahead and want to get the x by itself, so we divide by negative 15 for both sides, and then we should have x is equal to 100 ml, because once you divide this, you should get 100. Now we can plug in the 100 to solve for y. So we have x plus y equals 150. Then we're gonna plug in the 100, so we have 100 plus y equals 150. We do 100 and 100, that cancels out, so then y is equal to 50, because 150, and then we do negative minus 100 is 50. So then we have 100 ml will be for the 10% solution, and then we will need the 50 ml for the other 25% of the solution to mix them together. Okay, so now number 5 says determine the degree of the polynomial and then write it in standard form. So for this one, I pulled out a 70 from the problem. Wait, where am I? Number 5. Okay, sorry. For this one, I pulled out a 70, and then you can just, I did like the 3 plus 3, 5 plus 1, 4 plus 2, 1 plus 5, 3 plus 3. All of that was 6. So the highest exponent I have is 6. So then I can just multiply everything by 70. Once you distribute everything, you will get 4900 a to the third, b to the third, plus 3430b to the third, z, plus 70b4, y to the second, negative 4200 x2, I made a mistake, to the fifth, plus 81y to the third, and then z to the third. That is written in standard form. Okay. Now we have number 6. So for number 6, it says multiply and collect terms. So I just multiplied, I distributed everything. So I distribute the m into the m2 plus the 9m and then the negative 4. And then after I did that, I went ahead and distributed the negative 4 the other way. So it would be negative 4 into m2 plus the 9m and then negative 4. So my answer, once I distributed everything, is m3 plus 9m2, negative 4m, negative 4m to the second, negative 36m plus 16. Once I do that, I will collect my like terms. So I just kind of showed you my like terms by doing the underline, and the square, to show you how I solved for it. So then you get m3 plus m2, because that's the 9m2 and the 4m2, and then the 40m because of the negative 40m and negative 36m, and then plus 16. So that's how I solve for that one. For number 7, it says simplify the following expression by factoring out the greatest common factor. So for the greatest common factor, I went ahead and factored out the negative 3p to the second from the expression. So then it left me with the 10p2, negative 13q to the third, negative 13q to the second. again, I factored out the negative 3p to the second. Okay, so number 8, it says factor by grouping. So I went ahead and just split the problem in half. And then I went ahead and solved. So I got b parentheses a plus 6 parentheses negative 2 and then a plus 6, and then I just rewrote it as b minus 2 and then a plus 6. So that's for number 8. For number 9, it says factor. So it's negative u2 minus 35 uv plus 34v to the second. So I just wrote it as u minus 34v and then u minus 1v. And I went ahead and used the x method because I want to see what adds to negative 35 but multiplies to 34. So, oh, I'm sorry, that should have been on that side because that's how I got it with there. Okay, so this should have been explained before I wrote that. Sorry, I wrote it wrong. But basically, what adds to negative 35 and multiplies to negative 34 is negative 34 and 1. So then that gives us the 34 and the negative 1. Okay, I rewrite it once I solve it, so I think I just rewrote it wrong. But that's the answer. Okay, now we're on 10. Number 10 also says factor. So let's see. Number 10, where's my number 10? Okay, so sorry, I'm like looking. Okay, so number 10. We have negative 120m to the second minus 190m and then negative 50. So I took out a negative 10 and I put negative 10 parentheses 12m to the second plus 19m plus 5, and then I use this little star method. So I just put in all my numbers and then I got the 4 and the 15. That's what I'm going to reduce by. So I did 4 divided by 12 and I got 1 over 3m. And then when you reduce 15 into 12, you get 5 over 4m. So then you just write it as negative 10 because that's what we pulled out. 3m plus 1, we got that from here. And then the 4m plus 5, we got that from there from reducing. So that is our answer. Number 11, it says solve. Okay, so we solve m, and then we have 9m, negative 3 equals 0. So what I did for this one is I set both of them to 0. So my first one is m equals 0. And then my second one, I'm going to do this problem here and set it to 0. So I have 9m minus 3 equals 0. And then we just solve for that. So we do plus 3 on both sides, and then we have 9m equals 3. And then we do divide by 9, and then m is going to equal 1 over 3. So then our answer will then be 0, comma 1 over 3. Okay, so now we're on number 12. Number 12 says to factor. So I'm doing 144u to the second, and then w minus 144w. I just went ahead and put it all together. So 144w parentheses u2 minus 1 parentheses. I used the x method here. So I plugged in -1 and 0, and then I got -1 and -1. So then my answer would be 144W, and then parentheses u plus 1, u -1. And that's my answer there. And that's it. Sorry, I think my last video was much better. This video was kind of just a little bit everywhere. This one was a little longer. But that's it for math video number 2. Thank you.